Welcome to our team call tonight. This is going to be a fun team call. I had a really hard time putting this content together because when I went to Tony Robbins, it was so impactful. It was really kind of emotional. And when you experience something emotional, it's really hard to articulate why it was so impactful and what that did for you, right? And so I'm going to try my best to share this with you, but friends, I love you with all my heart, and I want you to live the most abundant life you can that you are super madly in love with. So get yourself to these events. Find the next Super Saturday, commit to going. It's April 2nd. You're always welcome to come to Phoenix, man. We got an awesome show every time. Come to Phoenix or find one near you. Travel if you need. If you see Tony Robbins or Brandon Burchard or Shalene or anyone going to do anything in your area, like within a 3-hour radius, go. It's worth the money. It will pay you back tenfold. You know that every dollar you invest in yourself for your mental health or for your physical health, you get that back like $100 on the dollar for the amount of productivity you end up having and the amount it saves you on medical costs, et cetera, et cetera. So just go. And I hope that you really take that into consideration. Sounds like the dog's gone crazy. First of all, I want to introduce you to one of our new coaches that is from Phoenix, and I asked her to share her story today. Kenzie Thomason just signed up with us a couple weeks ago, and this little firecracker hit Emerald in 3 days. 3 days, and she's already at Success Club. I can't remember what you're at. You had 4 last month. She signed up at the very end of last month, 4 last month. And how many do you have right now, Kenzie? She has 6. Success Club 6. She's already posting workout videos on Insta, and she's inviting people to join her challenge. This woman is fearless, but I love her story and her passion. And we got to meet up at the park, and I got to get to know her better and her cute little 1-year-old. And her mom lives a couple blocks from me, which is kind of cool. Anyway, so I asked her to just hop on and share with you a little bit about who she is and what she's doing, because honestly, Emerald and Success Club is easy, friends, when we make it easy, right? We all want our new coaches to get started, right? So, Kenzie, take it away.
Is this good? Okay. Hi, I'm Kenzie. I got to know Emma because she basically moved into my backyard where I grew up with my parents. So it was cool to be able to kind of meet her in person before I signed up. And we had our kids playing at the park and stuff, and she's an awesome woman. So yeah, she just wanted me to share a little bit of what I'm doing. I'm totally in love with this so far. I hope that I'm not one of those people that just guns it and then burns out. So I'm making sure that I'm not, overdoing it in the beginning and then burning out. But she wanted me to share my why, which I'll start with just because that'll probably be the longest thing. My story, I'm a young mom, I'm a wife, I'm a student, I'm in the medical field. There's a lot of things that I want to do, and I'm trying to do them. I met my husband. We're about to celebrate our 3-year anniversary this weekend, actually. I met him. We were both students, but something was different from the beginning with him. So we got married, even though we were both going to keep going to college. So that alone came with me kind of having to compromise some of my goals. So I had to start going to school part-time and then working so that we had enough income to, pay bills and all that. And then, to our surprise, came our son. I was feeling still kind of incomplete. Long story short about my past before my husband, I've been in some dark places, and I have, felt kind of empty for a long time. And I met my husband, and a lot of things changed with that, and I was able to become a great person. And then I still felt kind of a little bit of a void, so I was wondering if maybe we should have a child. So I found out that it was very unlikely that I would be able to have a child, which was shocking. Well, maybe not. I mean, I knew something was off with me. I went to doctors, and they basically told me I'm medically fascinating because you wouldn't know it by looking at me, but I actually have testosterone like through the roof and like hardly any estrogen. My doctor's like, basically you should have like a beard and a mustache. I don't even know how you look like you do. And I was like, okay. So he's like, very slim chance that you will be able to carry a child unless you get your hormones under control. It was hard and I couldn't. I still have pretty crazy testosterone. But we decided to just give it a shot, and I really thought we'd be trying for years. Lo and behold, we were trying for like 2 seconds. I found out I was pregnant. I was going to the gym, working out, and all of a sudden I started feeling tired and sick, and I didn't have any idea what was going on. I thought I was dying. Literally, I thought I was dying. And I fell asleep really early. We went to Sedona, and we were celebrating our 2nd anniversary. I fell asleep at like 7 o'clock. And my husband was like, what the heck is wrong with you? So I found out I was pregnant. Everything went well. I have my son now. And that was great. And then all of a sudden, I was like, I'm always at home. I stopped going to school, and I stopped working because I wanted to be with my baby his first year. So then I went from being this go-getter girl to like, what the heck am I doing? I feel like I get up, I feel like I feed my kid, I put him to sleep, and then I sit there and wait for the next time I feed him and put him to sleep and change his diaper. I was like, I need something. I need to do something. And so this has been a long process. I've always been loving fitness. I've always been into fitness. But somehow I never knew Beachbody did online coaching. I've always been doing Beachbody things, and it was just really funny.
So what was the first year that you got she got like Turbo Jam, like back in the day?
Yeah, that was like
how long ago was that?
I think I was like in high school playing volleyball, and I was trying to stay in shape. So I'm like, oh, I saw a Turbo Jam infomercial, and I did that to stay in shape between school volleyball and club volleyball. So I would do that with like my mom or like some of my volleyball friends. Like, I think I had to been like 15, 14. Really little, like young. So that's how long I've been doing Beachbody things. But yeah, so I love it. I believe in their products completely. They're great. And I love Shalene. She's so cute and she's so funny. She just gets you going. Like, she's just so cute. So anyway, so I was searching for something and I had no idea what to do. And I go to the gym. I know so many people there. I know all the staff. I know anytime I want a job, they said I could have one. And I was looking into that, and I was just like, but that's still time away from my son, and the pay isn't like that great. You know, I want to be with my child. So it was a matter of balancing career and family, and it seems like the more you put into one thing, the more the other thing suffers. And I decided that it was not worth sacrificing my family time and my time with my kid. I didn't really have parents that were like way there for me, especially in the ways that I needed. And that took a lot of growing up at a young age. And I absolutely wanted my kids to have something different. I did not want them to feel like that. So somebody told me, hey, have you ever like looked into Beachbody coaching? And I was like, oh, like right away. I was like, what is that? I was so interested. And they just kind of told me a little bit about it. And so I started looking into it. I started doing all this research, just really wanted to make sure I knew what I was getting myself into because I was a little like scared about it. And I talked to some people. I put stuff out on Facebook. Anybody, a coach that has information, I got a crazy response. I guess I knew a lot of coaches and didn't know it. But, you know, some people were telling me things, but I really wasn't convinced until I talked to Emma. There was just something about her. She's just cool. I don't know. There was something about her that really made me want to take the plunge and just figure it out. And so I decided to sign up under her. And ever since, I just felt like this fell into my lap, and it's something that I was meant to do, and I love it. And I think that's where true success in this comes from, is just being yourself and not making it like a sale. You're just there to be somebody's friend. You have the resources through Beachbody to provide answers when people are like, oh, I want to get in better shape, or I want to feel better. You're like, hey, I've got all this stuff. So I tried to make myself into a person that if somebody feels like they want to change their life or change their health habits or something, they think of me. So like, you know, when you think, okay, I want a cup of coffee, you automatically think Starbucks. I wanted to be that person that, okay, I need some fitness goals. Kenzie. So I'm trying to be that person. I'm trying to get myself out there enough so that people know what I do, and that I'm so willing to help them whenever they're ready. And I get so excited when people want to do stuff. I don't even really know if the money is half as good as it feels to just know I'm helping somebody. I'm helping my cousin get in shape for her wedding, and I'm just like, oh, I cannot wait to see her results. And I know what it feels like to not feel good in your own skin, especially after having my son. I was like, whoa, what am I going to do? I've been there. I've felt all the things that all of us women feel when we have a kid, and we're like, our body changed like crazy and we have no idea what to do. It's really overwhelming, and it really takes a lot of persistence. And so that's kind of my crowd that I try to reach mostly is young moms and just mothers in general, because at some point, if you're going to have a kid, you're going to have to figure out how to get your body back or just let it go. So I guess another thing she wanted me to share was how I became Emerald so quick. I wanted so badly to just start off on the right foot, so I just found people that I already knew were into healthy things, that I thought that they would really like Shakeology. And I knew they had to be coaches. So even if they weren't interested in being a coach right away, I knew if I could get somebody to be interested in doing some Shakeology and maybe having it be a hobby at first, I could become Emerald. So that's what I did. I found 2 people that wanted to do Shakeology because I told them about it, and they said that sounded really good. And I told them about coaching and how even if they didn't want to go full on, they would have discounts and all the other perks of being a coach. So that's how I became Emerald really quickly. And then I thought after that I would, just keep going. So what I've been doing is I've been incorporating my Instagram alongside my Facebook because they're linked. So if you post something on Instagram, you can immediately share it straight to Facebook. So everything that's on my Facebook is on my Instagram. I've had Instagram for a while. It kind of seems like it was more of a younger thing. Like I'm just starting to see some of my older friends and stuff come lately over the past few years come onto Instagram, because I feel like kids kind of hop over to the next social media that their parents aren't on. So Instagram was that thing for a little while. It's way more popular. It's blown up. It's really fun. You can post videos, you can post pictures, and hashtagging is a really good way for so many people to see your stuff. So you can have a public page, which is nice. And if you hashtag, people will click on that and they'll see your stuff, and you get followers that way. You can kind of do the same thing on Facebook, but it's not quite the same. So what I do is I try to, my 3 posts a day, I try to do a workout, I try to post a recipe, and then I try to post something motivational. And sometimes I'll switch one of those 3 things out with something about my family or how grateful I am that I have an opportunity to work at home, because there's so many people I know that just had a baby or something, or just got married, and they're like, probably in my shoes trying to figure out what to do or what their next step is. So I think a big part of this is finding who your people are and reaching them. Find out who you speak to and engage with them. It's really easy for me to engage with my college students that are poor and want some extra money, but they don't have a lot of time. It's really easy for me to get people to do challenge groups that just had a baby and they want to start something to get back in shape, or there's Ultimate Reset is really good for people that can't quite work out hard because they have an injury or something. I have 2 people interested in that because they're older and they have some injuries. So what I do is I try to start conversations. I just say, hey, how's it going? Just kind of along the same lines as a script. You just kind of be a friend. It really doesn't have to be overly complicated. Just be a nice person. Just reach out. If Beachbody comes up, share it. If not, just give it time, because sometimes people get busy. They're not sitting on Facebook all day, like looking at their messages. If somebody doesn't reply right away, it's okay. I wait. It's not a big deal. I do the same thing. There's some people I don't reply to after a little while because I don't want them to feel like I'm trying to like sell them, or I don't want anybody to feel that way. You don't want to be that person that anytime you message them, they're like, oh, you want them to be like, oh, hey, well, now what's up? So I kind of just talk to them, ask them how they're doing, catch up, and then I have certain things I kind of say that I feel like have been bringing up the question of, oh yeah, so what are you doing? So as soon as they ask me what I'm doing, I say, oh, I'm doing really well. I'm going to school and just, being a mom, that stuff. And, oh, I just started working from home and I love it. And I make sure I put emphasis on how much I love my job. And then they're like, they're like, oh, cool. What are you doing? Or they've already seen my stuff and they're like, oh yeah, so you're a coach or you're doing Beachbody stuff? Like, tell me more about that. And then right there, it's like I have an instant way of just opening conversation, and then it just kind of flows from there. So I think just being natural is good.
That's awesome. You can tell that you have a solid belief in what we're doing, and this is going to be a natural fit for you. I don't know about the rest of the coaches that are listening, but does it seem like she's been with us for 2 weeks or 3, like barely 2 weeks or 3 weeks? What day is it? Yeah. No, she's talking like a leader from the beginning, and that's what's cool about this. I don't care if you signed up yesterday. I don't care if you signed up a year and a half ago. The moment you want to own your business and just to lead with your firm belief in like what we're doing as coaches and how we can change people's lives, it's going to take off for you. Kenzie, did you want to leave a final little quote or statement, or did you wrap up?
Can you hear me again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would just say, I love what Rhonda said, Rhonda Race.
Mm-hmm.
She said, put fear to the wind. Just be real. Don't make it into a sale. Just be real and really want to help people. And then I feel like the success comes after that. So make it about helping people, and then the rest just kind of flows. That's what I would say.
Awesome. You rock, sister. Okay. So now we could just walk away and that would have been good, right? She did a great job. So thank you so much. I know it's probably nerve-wracking to jump on a team that's a top team. We're a top coaching team, and to be able to talk to all of us and as a brand new coach is a little intimidating at times. But anyway, all right, Tony Robbins takeaways. Guys, I'm going to be honest, you're going to get a lot of motivational quotes coming at you, so get ready for that. Oh. Hey, boys. Shh. Okay. So hope is the most powerful word because not even death can hold you back. So there's a lot of things that people can take from you, right? There's a lot that you can lose. But hope, no one can take that from you. Nothing can come in between you and that. So one of the biggest things that I want us to get out of this by the end is to kind of figure out these questions. So I want you to write these down. Who are you? What do you want? What are you living for? What are the things most dearest to you right now? Have you been able to forgive yourself and others? Are you putting out your light because others can't handle it? Okay, write those down real quick. I'm going to mute. I can still hear some people, so hold on. I'm going to mute really quick. There we go. Okay, now we're back. Can you see that again? Oopsies. Mute. Hello. Can you see that? Are we back on slides? Okay. I love this because a lot of times we'll look at where we are and then where we want to go, and we feel like, oh my gosh, it's going to take so long to get there. Can you guys see me? Can somebody unmute and say yes or no?
Yeah, we can see you, Em.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I want to draw a little diagram because you guys know I'm a really good artist, and it's always fun when Emma draws stuff. So one thing they talked about was like So let's say that this is where we are, this little teeny dot, right? And maybe this is where, wait, how did they say that? Oh, okay, this is where we want to go. And this is staying the same, right? Staying in our comfort zone, and then this is where we want to go. People think you have to do like a 180, but in reality, we just have to slightly take where we're going and just adjust it so slightly. And in the end, we're going to be in a completely different place. So just by elevating ourselves just slightly, it'll end up taking us to where we want to go. That was a really good drawing. You're welcome. So, but the first thing I want is for all of you to raise your standard. Think about this for a second. Like, if you have to find money for something, then you will. Like, if your standard is paying the bills, then that's all you're going to do every month. Like, I have to pay the bills. So every month it gets to the end of the month and I just have enough money to pay the bills. But if your standard is, oh crap, the car broke down, the water pipe broke in the house, and now I need to come up with thousands of dollars, or my parents got sick and they have to move in and they I have to pay for them too, then you'll all of a sudden find the money because you raised your standard. But you can raise your standard with lots of things. Like, let's say that you've tried to lose weight for a long time. And like, I should go to the gym, I should do this, I should do that, or whatever. But then one day you just wake up and you're freaking sick of it. And you're like, this is just the new me. Or, you had to quit a habit or whatever. When it becomes a must and not a should, and it becomes internal for you, then you will make it happen. You're going to find a way to make it happen. And so as you go through and you're going through those questions we just went over, ask yourself what your standard is right now, realistically. Like, what are you expecting from yourself and the people around you? And if it's not what you want to be, it's not where you want to go, then you have to raise your standard. And the only way to do that is to take action on that and to start doing the things that you say you should do. Stop making them shoulds and make them musts. And if you don't have a strong enough why, like, why should you choose to do this, whatever it is, like when you decide, I am going to be an elite coach, it's happening, I am an elite coach, I am the best of what I do, then it will happen for you, right? Or I am going to help 100 people this year. I am going to hit Success Club 10. It's happening no matter what. When you decide that, and if it's a strong enough reason why, then you'll be able to reach your goal. But if it's not a good reason why, like if it's a weak why, if it's a wishy-washy why, then the first obstacle that comes your way, you're going to go back into the hypnotic rhythm of mediocrity. And I love when he said that. So to figure out if it's a good enough why, you have to go 7 levels deep. And here's what I mean. I'm just going to give you a little example. And I challenge you to do this with the people in your life when you talk about their goals, like whether it's your team, your challengers, or people you're talking to about their fitness goals or whatever. So I want to be an elite coach. Well, why? Because I want the bonuses and recognition, because that would make me feel really good. And I want to be one of the top people. Well, why? Because then it proves that my team is, doing really good work, and it solidifies the hours I put into this business, and then I'm going to feel like I am growing people that really want this. Well, why? Because I know if I'm growing a solid foundation with this business and I'm really impacting people, it makes me feel like I have a purpose. Why? And you can get into that even more, like, well, because as a kid, I struggled with my sense of self-worth. I always felt like I didn't belong anywhere. And so by being able to help people, I feel like I'm contributing to the world. Well, why did you feel like that? Well, because I was abandoned as a child. That's not really mine. But do you see, like, that's the why. That matches elite. And when that's the strong rooted why of why the heck do you want this? Like, what do you want and why do you want it? Then you'll never waver, no matter what anyone says. Okay? Do everything with intention. So if you're saying that you're going to work, we know this, do it with intention, with that deep-rooted why, and then make sure all of your time away from your family and your other things in your life are really honoring what your purpose is. So first of all, let's figure out who you are so you're knowing whether or not you're doing everything with intention. So make a list. This is your assignment for the next Like, do it in the next day or two. If we put it out too far, you'll never do it. And I want everybody to do this because I really want to figure out who you are and what you want so that you achieve success in Beachbody or whatever the heck you do, and you feel good about it. So what are your talents? What are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? What are some of your dreams that you're like afraid to tell people that you want to have happen? What are the things that make you laugh effortlessly? What makes you really smile? How do you act when no one's watching? What do you wear? What do you eat? What do you say? How do you dance? I don't know. How do you keep your house? Where do you feel the most comfortable and alive in your life? And you can add to this, like anything that could be about you. Like, who are you? Make that gargantuan list. And so that way you know exactly who you are and who you're trying to attract and who you want to work with and what your real dreams are and what your talents are, so you can focus on growing those, okay? And sometimes we look at like our weaknesses, or we look at our challenges, and we look at the things that have happened to us in our life, and we think it's not fair. But I'm here to tell you that life is totally fair to a point. Like, we all have different stuff. Some people's challenges are going to be in their relationships. Some people will have challenges that are physical. Some will have challenges that are financial or, circumstantial, things like that. But we all have them, and God gives you your talents, or your creator, whatever you want to call it. They give you your challenges to help you to grow. They're perfectly designed for you. So some of our best gifts or motivation can come wrapped in sandpaper, and you are perfectly designed for your time right now, for a time like this. And I love that, because have you thought back to some of your biggest challenges or trials in your life, then how much you grew from that and how thankful you are for those? Or you look at anybody that's really successful. Tony Robbins shared a story, man, whoa, it's amazing. He was abused as a kid and had nothing, was starving for a while, and how that he's so thankful for that, because that is what made this deep rooted desire to do something with his life, to do something different, to never feel that way again, to never go without food. And that's why he gives so much to other people. So sometimes our best gifts and motivation can come wrapped in sandpaper. And you right now at this moment, you are perfectly designed for this, whatever you're facing. Don't let anyone dictate who you are. So I don't care what you've been through. I care where you're going, right? And I don't care what you say you want, because what you say you want, it has to mirror your actions. Like, when people tell me what they say they want and then they don't do anything about it, I'm not going to listen to them. I'm going to watch them. You can always tell, actions don't lie about a person. Actions tell somebody's true character, right? I really want this business really bad, Emma. You never even show up to anything, ever. You haven't talked to anyone. You talked to 2 people this month. No, you don't. You don't want this. So, or whatever it can be in your life, right? I really want to have a house that's clean, and your house is never clean. It's all that stuff. So don't let anyone dictate who you are. Not even you. Not if you want to change, you can decide to change at any time. So others' perception of you has nothing to do with you. Usually other people's opinions of you is a projection of how they feel about themselves. And so find something that you're good at and get better at it. And other people can get better at whatever they need to get better at. And then he said, stop taking bad advice from negative people. And it's so funny because we can hear all these good things throughout the day, and then we'll hear one negative thing, and that will totally bring us down. Or we hop on Facebook and we're super pumped from our workout, and we see the first 5 posts, and all of a sudden we're deflated because we're comparing ourselves or whatever. We get a negative message, and it makes us fall apart. But we can own our actions. We can own our feelings. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But whatever it is that you want, don't listen to anyone else but you, because negative people want you to stay stuck, right? And that's just not who you are. There are 1,000 reasons to stop and to give up, but you just need one hot, burning why reason to be unstoppable. So wake up every morning and say, I am here by a divine assignment. I woke up enough today in my imperfections. Don't magnify your imperfections. Magnify your strengths and your talents and your amazing things about you. Because you know what? Your value and your worth is not defined by what you've achieved today. It is not defined by what you're wearing right now. I can tell you that. It's not defined by how you look or the crap in your house. If you lost absolutely everything and you were standing naked on a mountain, you would still have value, because value and worth is what you're born with. And no one can take that from you. So let your light shine. Figure out who you are and just do that fully. I can't remember her name, and I think I might have shared this on a different call. That's okay. I'm going to share it again. So she talked about how, like, all of us are operating in this room because, you know, we are a bunch of crazy people that show up to Tony Robbins stuff. So we're not like the average people, but we're really just operating about at our 70%, because, you know, when we get too excited, when we get too passionate, when we get too courageous, other people like to stifle that. And so instead we stifle ourselves, right? So we're operating at the 70%. And she says, I'll look at Bernie in a minute. She says, crank up that freaking volume to 180 and really let your life take off. Like, really live your truth and be who you are, and be overly excited and overly ambitious and overly courageous, if that's what you think. Operate at your 150% all the time. Because what happens is, your example, when you decide to love fully, to live fully, your light's going to shine and it falls on everybody around you. And so when your light's shining, you're illuminating the path for everyone else. And it helps other people to see that they could do it too, right? It helps them to find their own light. Crank up your volume and don't apologize for it. Because at the end of your life, at the end of the day, it's just you answering for you, right? What are you going to say? So-and-so didn't like that I was super positive on Facebook. Screw that! Screw them! So-and-so didn't like I was going for my dreams. Heck with them! They can be sad by themselves. If others can't handle your light, I love it. She did this like little analogy. She took out her sunglasses. Oh, I have some. Check this out. She's like, if others can't handle your light, crank it up, wear your shades, and then hand them a pair. It was so funny. The whole room went crazy. You had to be there. It was like scoring a touchdown. Everyone was like, oof. So it's so true. Maybe we need sunglasses for the cruise. I don't know. Okay. And then Tony talks about staying in a beautiful state of mind. And how do we do that? Because it's so difficult, especially when somebody you love says something hurtful about what you're doing, right? Because you're so passionate about it. You're taking a risk. You're stepping outside of your comfort zone. And then they say something that's mean, or something happens, the car breaks, or you just buy a brand new car. You just earn with your 10-star bonus and you're super stoked. And then you back it into a tree or whatever. And you have a choice between staying in a beautiful state of mind or a suffering state of mind all the time, but you can't coexist in both. It doesn't happen. And so you have to choose, right? A suffering state of mind is anger, fear, jealousy, contentment, anxiety, all those negative things. And so it's those things that happen to us, right? Because usually all those emotions are responses. And a beautiful state of mind is hope, optimism, joy, love, gratitude, or whatever. And you can choose either one. So you can wake up late and either choose, oh, this day's gonna suck, I woke up so late, or you can change it. But how do you do that? Well, first you have to hunger for it. It has to be something you're actually aware of trying to have. Like, so by finding the good, training your mind to see the good in everything around you. Like, I woke up today, I get another chance at life. I am breathing. I can get myself out of my bed. I have people to take care of. I have a roof over my head that I need to pay rent on or mortgage on or whatever. You can go through all these things and really help you to stay in that mindset. And then you need to take massive action on it, which means that if you have an inkling or an idea of something wonderful to do, you have to go do it, right? Because if you don't, then you end up feeling guilty about it. You end up feeling bad, or you feel unfulfilled because you have all of these things you don't want to do, or that you want to do that you haven't done, and then it feels like anxiety. So take action on the things that you want. And then the last thing that was give yourself and others grace. You have like 30,000 thoughts a day, right? And so there's a lot going on in your life. There's a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. And there's a lot of things that you need to handle. But you got to give yourself some grace, because you're not going to be perfect, and you're going to fail a lot. And you're going to mess up, and you're going to hurt people's feelings. You might hurt your own self. I don't know. But give yourself some grace and realize that other people are just trying to do the same thing too. They're just trying to do their dang best with whatever they have. I learned this analogy when I was watching some things on Tony Robbins. So this is a little off of his, it was on a video, not in this thing, but basically picture us as houses, okay? We're all under construction, right? And a lot of houses will have a really solid, strong foundation, but then most of us have houses that were maybe built, and if you look inside this beautiful house, this, like on the outside, they might all look the same, but inside they might have broken beams, or the flooring might be sinking. I don't really know all the terminology, but there might be termites in the wood or whatever. And our houses are all trying to be held up by and then we get added. Okay, how did he say it? Our broken houses are trying to support this beautiful exterior, right? But if you don't protect the inside, eventually it's all going to fall, right? So that's why personal development is so important, and living your truth is so important. But what we can do at any time is remodel. We can go in there and we can knock out those old beams. We can knock out those things like fear and not feeling good enough. And maybe you had issues as a child with your family, or maybe you fail in school and you feel like you're not smart enough or whatever. You can knock all those out at any time, and you can decide to build a new structure within your house so that it's solid and sturdy, and then the outside is matching the inside too. But we all have these houses, and you can't tell what people are experiencing or what they are going through or what their houses are built out of. And so you got to give them some grace. Maybe their mean comments aren't anything about you. That's usually the case, right? So, okay, 2 things to change in your life to live in a beautiful state. Number 1, the science of achievement. Number 2, the art of fulfillment. Science and art are 2 different things in this scenario. The science of achievement, that's the how. Like, do your business activity tracker, post 3 times a day on Facebook, do personal development, do your workouts. How? Checklist, listen to the national wake-up call. How, right? The art of fulfillment, though, is when you're setting these goals and you're reaching these milestones, are you going to feel fulfilled by reaching them? Because success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. Have you guys ever achieved something and you felt like, that was it? But you can have the best day of your life literally every day, and then you will feel fulfilled no matter what your success level is in this business or in life. And here is where we have to make that decision of living in the beautiful state of mind. Like, if you can't be happy with your body, with your income, with your life, with the whatever crap you have, in your house, with the cars you have and the food you ate today and the relationship you have with your spouse and your kids or whatever. If you can't be happy right now, today, and be crazy, amazing, grateful for all of that, you will never be happy when you reach yada yada rank, yada yada, what number on the scale, income, whatever. None of those things are going to feel good. You have to be happy internally. It can't be bought. So we in our relationships are either growing or dying every single day. And I did that little thing earlier where it showed, like, here's where we are and here's either where we're going or where we're dying. And the dying line is, staying where what's comfortable and doing the same routine every day and doing the minimum to get the minimum, settling, whatever. The other line that is going to be growth, etc., is filled with hard work and raising your standard and giving your all every day, regardless of the outcome, releasing the whole idea that the end result is just the goal, but getting invested into just the actions. And so we have a choice to either be growing or dying every day. What you get will never make you happy, but who you become will. And I loved it when he was like, be an overachiever. If you're going to be a bunch of freaking overachievers, be an overachiever in enjoyment and living. And he's like have the most fun you can have. Laugh the most you possibly can. Love the hardest you can. Have the best workouts you can. Have the best sex that you can. And he's like, do it. Live this. Be the most faithful person you can be. Turn up your volume and be whatever you need to be. Okay, and then what you focus on is what you'll see. So are you guys still with me? Is this still on? Good. You're still there, right? I am challenging you for the next 10 seconds is all to look around your room that you're in and look for everything red. Ready, go. Comment below with how many red things you just saw. Now close your eyes. Are you there? Are you closing your eyes? Oh, good. Okay, now I want you to comment with how many brown things you saw when you were looking for red. You can't open your eyes yet. Can you think about it? Haha. See, what you focus on is what you'll see. So if you choose it, like today's a bad day. Yeah, you're right. It's a bad day because you're focusing on the bad. Or if you focus on the good things, then it's going to be fine. I hate when people say, and if you guys want to know, it's like nails on the chalkboard when I do phone calls with coaches. I'm trying to hit Success Club. I'm trying to talk to people. Stop saying trying. I am going to hit Success Club. I'm super excited about the people I'm talking to right now. We're in really good conversations. And these guys are going to be super stoked with their results in 30 days. Like change it, flip it. Don't tell me you're trying to do something. Tell me what's actually happening, right? Okay, thanks. How to make that shift in your mind, though. We talked about living in a beautiful state or a suffering state.
Hey, Emma.
Yeah?
Hey, you froze when you were talking about closing your eyes and stuff. So none of us got it.
Oh. Well, you can just ignore all that stuff I just said. No, when I said, I don't know when you guys came back in or when I came back in, but I said, I hate when people say they're trying to do something. That's like my nails on the chalkboard, get on my bad side. Like, don't try to do anything. Like, you do it or you don't. So don't say, I'm trying to have conversations with people. I'm trying to hit Success Club. I'm trying to get to Diamond. Because what you want to do is say, I'm super stoked about the conversations I'm having right now. I'm stoked about the people that I'm talking to because I know they're going to get incredible results in 30 days. I'm so excited about the team that I'm growing. We are blossoming, etc. So change your thinking because what you're going to focus on is where you're going to go. And if you're always trying, then you're only going to hit the basic minimum standard of life, right? Live it, embrace it, it is you. There's a big difference. Okay, so how to make the shift. So we just talked about suffering state versus a beautiful state of mind. So you can choose to be in a beautiful state anytime. And I love this, and I hope that you'll do this with me for just a second, okay? You can take notes or put down your pencil, I don't care. Number one, first of all, when you have an emotion, whether it's anxiety, fear, heartache, disappointment, whatever, I want you to appreciate it and enjoy it, whatever it is. That sounds so crazy, right? Because it means you're alive. And whatever made you have that negative feeling in your heart right then, that meant that whatever was going on around you, to have that happen to you, was very special to you. So you're experiencing something special, and it's important, right? So take like 30 seconds and acknowledge what feeling that is, okay? The second thing is ask yourself how you can learn and grow from that. How can you learn and grow? What did that teach you? And a good idea is when this happens to journal real quick. And this whole thing can take, like 2 minutes is all. And then the last thing is to love, give, and be grateful. So what can you learn from that? So maybe somebody gave you a negative comment on your stuff. Appreciate it. Haters are coming out. That means you are causing something to stir inside of people. You're waking them up inside. You're having an impact on people. That is really cool. You're going to learn and grow from it. Well, maybe you just realize that that person is not somebody you want to be a critical player in your life. Or maybe it's somebody that you love and you need to reach out and see if they're hurting. Okay? And then the last thing, love, give, and be grateful. It is impossible to feel negative if you are serving and loving on others. And so this would be a perfect time to write a note to somebody, to do a service project, to send out flowers, or make cookies for a neighbor. Anything you want to do. It can take 5 minutes, it can take 30 minutes. I don't care. But go, when you're in this negative state, go and do something nice for something else. And then he said, I should have added number 4. Then he said, go picture in your mind right now a time when you felt like unwavering joy and appreciation. Like maybe it was when you had a baby, or maybe it was when you saw your parents and you hadn't seen them in a long time and how that hug felt. Or you had somebody cry and run up to you at their wedding and say, I'm so glad you're here. Like a moment that nobody can take away from you. And go to that place of appreciation and joy. Maybe have a couple of them on deck so that way you can go to a few of them if needed. And feel those emotions. What did it sound like? What did it smell like? What were you wearing? What were they wearing? Whatever else you can pull out of that moment to make it real for you. And go there. So we could spend a long time on that, he did. But we're going to move on. Okay, so remember that God is the best personal trainer. Because you know how personal trainers, and I thought that was funny because I was like, hey, that's kind of what we do. You know how personal trainers will say, you're like, I can't do one more. And they're like, give me 5. And you're like, okay. And you pop out like 5 more reps and you didn't know you could. That's how we feel sometimes in our storms of life, right? I can't handle anything else. And God's like, oh, yes, you can. And he's like, whoosh, another trial for you. You are so much stronger than you think. Here you go. So just remember that, like when you're going through hardships, whether it's in business or personal life, it's all for your own good. And there is a reason why, and you're going to come out ahead. So be excited that this trial was designed for you and you're going to be able to have this awesome story and experience from it. And the last thing that I wanted to mention from him, and then I have a quick little thing to show you, is he was like, I hear people all the time, they're like, I can't feel God in my life. And they just complain about how God's unfair and everything's hard and blah, 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 blah. And he's like, maybe you can't feel him because you don't stop bitching about your life. Like nobody wants to hang out with the complainer. So stop whining about how hard you have it and get to work. And that's what he said. I was like, yeah. And he's like, listen to me. If you are broke, there's no reason for anybody to be broke in America. And if you are broke, you need to get off Facebook and get off the TV. You don't have the right to have a TV. Read a freaking book. Get a job. And I was like, yes. So I guess what the point behind that is if you're in a suffering, complaining state of mind, stop it. You have control over your life. Go do something about it. Pick up some personal development, get outside and serve another person, and stop making it about you. Oh, I'm all fired. I need to take off my jacket. I'm ready to go. Okay, I hope this works because the chat's going nuts. You guys, what are you doing? But I have something to show you guys, and I hope it works. Preach it. Oh, you guys should have been there. You would have bawled your eyes out, and you would have been crying and laughing and out of control. So this is what I want you to think about. I'm going to share this. When you look back on your life, what is the one thing that you want to be remembered for, or what you have wanted to have achieved? Okay, I'm going to stop this share and go to this. I'm hoping this is going to play. Desktop. Where is it? No. Let's see. Why isn't this working? Okay, can you guys see this?
I wasn't ready.
Is that playing for you guys? Jen, are you there? Jen's always listening.
Yes, it's fine.
Okay.
Well, it just stopped. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I stopped it. Okay, so this was the first speaker of the day at the Tony Robbins thing. Whew! Get ready to be excited.
I have no arms and no legs, but I'm very thankful that I have a little chicken drumstick here. People freak out when they see me for the first time. It's so cool. I was at a water slide all by myself. Everyone obviously at the bottom of the slide is giving up and waiting for other people to come down. And here I come, and they're freaking out. They're like, like this. And I was so tempted to look at myself and go, what happened? There were times where I sort of looked at my life and thinking, well, I can't do this and I can't do that. And you keep on concentrating on the things that you wish you had or the things that you wish you didn't have. And you sort of forget what you do have. And there's no point, I believe, in my life where I wish I had arms, legs, I wish I had arms, legs, I wish I had arms, legs, I wish it won't help. But what I've seen in life are just a couple key principles. And the first thing that I've seen is to be thankful. It's hard to be thankful, man. I tell you, when I was 8 years old, I sort of summed up my life and thought, I'm never going to get married. I'm not going to have a job. I'm not going to have a life of purpose. What kind of a husband am I going to be if I can't even hold my wife's hand? It's a lie to think that you're not good enough. It's a lie to think that you're not worth anything. Oh boy. It's freezing. I can't feel my hands. I love life. So many people come and say, how come you smile so much? And I'm like, well, it's a long story. But it's very simple at the same time. You see, it's very hard to smile sometimes in life. There are things that happen that you don't know and you don't understand, and you don't know if you're going to get through it. You go through your storms in life and you don't know how long this storm is going to be. And today I want to share with you some principles that I've learned in my life that you can use in yours. Being patient is beautiful. I'll tell you, it's the hardest thing. But I realize I may not have hands to hold my wife's hand. But when the time comes, I'll be able to hold her heart. I don't need hands to hold her heart. It is scary to know how many girls have eating disorders. It is scary to know how many people are just angry at life because of their situation at home and angry at others. It's scary to know how many people actually feel like they're worth nothing. Every single girl right here, right now, I want you to know that you are beautiful. You are gorgeous just the way you are. And you boys, you're the man. On this DVD, I share my experiences in life of how I've overcome challenges and seen a new, fresh perspective.
That goes on to tell you how to get his stuff. If you have the chance, look him up on YouTube. It's Nick with No Arms and Legs is how you can search it. That's literally one of the titles of his YouTube channels. And you guys, all I want to leave you with today is that if a guy that has no arms and legs can learn to walk, then you can do anything. So please never, ever doubt that. And I'm going to go ahead and stay on if anybody has questions or comments. Thank you for being on. Go make it your best